1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
saying earlier about young managers, he's another young guy who's doing very, very well. And I thought, well, that's the ultimate praise. You don't get better praise from anybody than Alex Ferguson saying you're the best in the world. And then, to my surprise, I have to say, after Saturday night, probably on Sunday, I read that Ferguson had sent a WhatsApp or a text or something to the owner, to an owner of PSG. I forget the guy's name. And I was really staggered at what he said. He said, big congratulations. You did so well to beat a very boring team. It really totally hung up on defence. He said, well done, you thoroughly deserved it. Now, I think very boring might be a bit strong because, as Tony said, they did the job well. They were defending their lead. But it was a bit parking the bus. And maybe that's a bit of an Achilles heel with Arteta, because he does tend to sort of do that. Now, that's exactly what Roy Ball was, as I was saying earlier. No disrespect to Hodgson, as I say, he did us well. But if we got a lead, or even if we didn't, you get the feeling he sent the players out not to lose, not to win. They went out not to lose. So if we got one goal up on the break, it would then be parking the bus and making it hard for the opposition. And I feel, it was a very good early goal, I thought, by Havertz, wasn't it, on Saturday? Took it very well. Possibly it was too early for Arsenal. It's never a good thing, really, to get such an early goal, because it then dictates your tactics, your positions, what you're going to do. And I feel that's what happened. And in my opinion, any manager who decides, particularly early on in a game, they're just going to defend that lead and maybe hope for something on the break, is playing with fire. They're playing with potential losing the game. Okay, it went to penalties, and they lost because two poor ones from the Arsenal player, Gabriel and Eze. And it could obviously have gone either way at that stage. But I agree with Tony that the best team on the night did win, because they were, I suppose they had to go all out to try and score, throw the kitchen sink at it. And they've got these excellent footballers of young age. They're quite a young team, PSG now. They've almost shunned the ones who've gone off to Spain, etc., like Mbappe and that sort of stuff. He's building from the ground up. So, yeah, I thought they deserved to win. But as I said, I was quite surprised what Alex Ferguson said, having previously complimented Arteta in the way that he did. I watched the game. It was a good game to watch, the Champions League final, all the razzmatazz that goes with that. But maybe as a spectacle, maybe it didn't quite live up to what it could have done and what they sometimes do. But yeah, so, Arsenal in any event had their big celebrations, good for them. The next day, all around London, I think they had 1 million people turning up. On which point, I was disappointed that Palace didn't do the same, on the grounds that they said, well, players are going off to the World Cup. We'll do it when they come back. We'll have a day or something, a weekend, doing it then. And to be honest, to me, the moment's passed. If you don't celebrate it within a few days of winning it, all the heady feelings of victory, and it probably didn't help that Glasner suddenly became not our manager, but I think we should have had some celebration around the ground or at the ground to celebrate an incredible achievement, but we didn't. But at least Arsenal, they swallowed their loss of the game, which must have been a bit difficult with the disappointment, and they still had their buses going around and thanking the crowd basically, and all celebrating together. So good for them for doing that.
Yeah, I was quite disappointed that they lost on penalty.
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
I was quite disappointed that they lost on penalties. I was rooting for Arsenal all the way. I just thought I
was
I know
not.
you were. I know you wasn't. I know you wasn't, but I was. I was just praying at least they got that. That would have been really good. Two silverwares in a year, in a season. That would have been great. But anyway, it wasn't to be.
You know what the
Now,
stats are for all the English clubs that have been in the final? There
oh,
was 11 Premier League English teams in the final of a Champions League, and they all won except from 2 times, and both of them were from Arsenal.
Really, really.
Every single English club that was in the final won it, except from the 2 times, and those 2 times are Arsenal.
wow. They did, but they've had a good season. They've had a good season.
I mean, this also shows about the corruption. Arsenal, with corruption, won the Premier League, but they couldn't buy anything else. The Carabao Cup, they couldn't buy the FA Cup, and they couldn't buy the Champions League. It just shows you can, no matter how much money you have, oil money, you can't buy proper like trophies. Somehow they win the Premier League yet again. Referees, but hey ho, shows.
Yeah, well, they won it. They won a trophy, so that's the end of my support for Arsenal for this season. It's back to being it's back to being a hater again. I just wanted them to win something, and they did. I just didn't want I didn't want City to win, and I didn't want. Right, this is all we've got time for on this first segment of the Football Referee. Join us in the second segment as we discuss transfers from different clubs and who's leaving and who's staying, and also we'll talk about the Ballon d'Or nominees in the second segment. So I've been Emmy Hikins, and he calls me bruv.
No, cuz. And I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me bruv.
And I'm Tony, and they call me the Enforcer.
Right, so it's a goodbye from me on this segment. Join us on the second segment to follow straight afterwards.
Goodbye from me too.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us